Hi, so thank you very much, guys, for tuning in on the last episode of my mini-series, Testing One-to-One. Really excited and grateful for Gav Winter today for joining me on the final vlog. So Gav is the CEO of RapidSpike. So Gav, can you tell me about your role and obviously the company in a sentence?
Yeah, sure. I'll quickly tell you about RapidSpike first. So so essentially when people have a bad experience on websites, be it performance or security or reliability, around 88% of them won't come back to your website. And it takes a couple of years worth of marketing to get them back. So essentially RapidSpike monitors, protects and improves all of your web assets, helps you with speed, helps you with performance, helps you with structural errors, stops you getting your payments stolen on off your website. It's obviously for you to be utilized by companies, and essentially that's what we do. We're there to act as a customer. So that's what we do. We actually literally are a customer. And then anything bad that happens to us is happening to the customers, so you sort of need to fix it.
Amazing, fantastic.
And my job is everything, because we're an SME. There are about 10 of us. Hopefully soon many more than that as we grow, and we've grown 500% over the last 2 years, which is really cool.
Amazing.
But you know, I'm involved in tech, marketing, investment conversations, anything that you could wish to, finance, sales, everything. Like literally, I'm the jack of all trades right now.
Love it, the role of a CEO. All right, fantastic. So obviously you've got a really impressive background, Gav, coming from kind of support through to test, obviously where you are now, which is incredible. I'd be really keen to find out kind of why did you get into testing initially, and why testing? So
it's interesting because I think people now actually think about getting into software testing, and back when I was getting into software testing in the late 90s, people didn't go, oh, I fancy a career in software testing. They fell into software testing. I fell into it particularly because I was a highly average software developer who'd done a computer science degree, and I was working in IT support. And I actually got talking to someone who was head of an automation team, and automation was pretty new back in 1999 when I started as a tester. And essentially, I just had a conversation. Someone told me that this guy was looking for a junior automation consultant. I said, well, that sounds pretty cool. And we had a conversation. And then 3 months later, he rang me up and said, do you want a job? And I said, yeah, go for it. I took at the time, my support job was paying me pretty well at Yorkshire Water. I'd done really well there. And I had to take an £8,000 pay cut to take this automation job. But I thought, do you know what? This sounds really good. I think I can make something of this. And that's sort of how I started. I didn't really aim to be in it, but I'm very glad I am.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot of times, Gavin. I think that it's really interesting, obviously, how you've kind of utilised, that kind of opportunity that you had early on, and obviously, kind of the achievements that you've had up to date. So, obviously, with that being said, so how have you progressed into the role that you're in now? And I guess the second part of that question would be, what kind of give you the motivation to, set up your own consultancy?
So I'll give you a bit of a quick potted history of my testing life, which started out doing QA run and QA load scripts on a what you would call a fintech application now, back in the day. So I've actually, I didn't even know it was fintech back then, but I was in fintech, and it was learning from a very and I will name drop because Matt Lill was the best automation tester I'd ever met. And he taught me the ways of the force, if you will, how to automate properly, keyword-driven frameworks at the time, which were, the best way to do it, functionally driven, multi-threaded testing. I mean, we had, you know, you get Selenium Grid nowadays. We had a Selenium Grid. We stacked up 8 desktops and sent batch commands to run multi-threaded testing to make our automation scripts run faster. You know, so we were way ahead of the game at the time. But I learned so many good things and so many good practices from a really good teacher, and that led me to get into Accenture.
Okay, yeah.
So the NHS project, God rest its soul. You know, there were some absolutely amazing people there. I got taken on as an experienced hire because I had automation skills, but typically when you've got some testing skills, when you're working for a consultancy, they went, oh, you have got automation skills, brilliant, do some performance testing. I was like, I've never done performance testing. They say, well, that's the role. And yeah, so I was thrown in at the deep end, but I worked on an absolutely amazing team, and interestingly enough, members of that team have gone on to do some pretty fab things in the world of not just testing, in business as well. And we had a good team. We had one of the world's biggest performance environments at the time. I learned a lot about load profiling and doing all those kinds of amazing things. And that took me on to a number of projects within Accenture. And it was a really, really great experience. However, I always had an eye on running my own business. I never felt confident enough until I'd got the skills, and I felt like I'd got to the point where I got the skills. Accenture is a wonderful place to learn and a great place to be, but I felt that I'd reached my limit of what I could do there without, you know, there's, you know, to get into partnerships, you've got to be very hardy and very, you know, tough. And I felt that probably I wasn't tough enough for that Accenture atmosphere, and I wanted to do it myself. And my dad had his own business, and I felt it was the right time. I probably could have gone on to do more things at Accenture, but I felt it was the right time. My dad had his own business, and I saw my dad not have his own business, my dad have his own business, then he lost his business. And the happiness factor between him working for someone and him working for himself was, you know, I saw that as a child, and saw how happy he was at being in control of his own destiny. And I think that did actually drive me a lot to do my own test consultancy. And the further point is that there was no test consultancy in Leeds or in Yorkshire or really in the north, in Manchester, and you know, they were quite old hat and old school, not really about automation, not about doing technical testing, not about hiring amazing people and giving them tools to be amazing testers. And I thought there's a gap in the market here. I didn't think it was the gap in the market that led to us, the test people specifically, growing to be 140 strong consultancy, which then merged to become 1010. You know, that wasn't on the radar. It was one of those things where I was just like, wow, you know, I sort of describe it as it's like people, if anyone knows me, they'll probably laugh at this comment, but it's like riding a lion. Everyone else looks at you from a distance going, wow, look at that person riding a lion, they must be amazing. And then you're sat on the lion, go, oh my God, I'm riding a lion, how do I get off the lion? It's just an insane experience, but has made me many friends and taught me many things. So it was a great decision, I felt.
Okay, fab, thank you. So what one piece of advice would you give to the next generation of software testers then, Gav?
So I see a massive obsession about being technical in the testing world. And whilst I would say was technical, I had good technical skills and I could write performance tests and I could write automation scripts. What made me what I thought was, you know, good enough to get into a major consultancy, start my own test consultancy and grow it, was the fact that I was a tester first. And I understood testing. I understood why I was testing. I understood that sometimes you can test a little bit and get good results, and sometimes you need to test a lot and to get the results you need. So understanding risk and just knowing that I'm a tester before anything else, and honing those skills, and those skills are, like I say, risk understanding, communication, and you know, getting other people to help you do your testing as well, and wearing those multiple hats, were more valuable to me than my technical ability, and that's what drove me forward.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I think we've heard some really different kind of pieces of advice, and I think that learning, you know, and being a tester first and foremost is a really great kind of skill. And obviously the tech and things like that, hopefully you can learn later on down the line. But yeah, that's amazing. Well, I feel really lucky to have had you on the vlog today, Gav. So thank you so much. And yeah, this is the last in the series today, everybody. So we will be starting up another series of mini vlogs in the future. So please do sign up to our YouTube channel. I will pop the link in the comments from here. But yeah, thank you so much, Gav.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
See ya.